slightly more salary for the same role that you are going to get at any other company, be it a FANG, be it a startup, or let's say any other fintech company. This is a very common practice. This will give you a clear picture of what is the compensation range that the company is offering. Within this band, you are going to lie somewhere in between based on how your interviews go, how much experience you are already getting, and overall how much well you are able to negotiate. Now, one more very important stuff that you should always consider is that you should know what are the numbers the company is already offering for the same role for the past couple of years, right? These numbers you can get on LeetCode discuss section very easily. For example, like you can go to Google and you can just search for, let's say, Amazon SD2 salary LeetCode, and you can put a filter of after : 2023, that whatever are the blog posts on LeetCode discuss which are telling the Amazon every tech salary has multiple components. There is a base component, there is a stock component, in case the company is listed. If the company is not listed, there will be ESOPs, there is a joining bonus component, there is a retention bonus component, there is a relocation component, performance bonus component. There are a lot of different components altogether. Imagine you have successfully cleared all of your tech interviews. You were working hard, and after all of your interview rounds, you are getting a positive feedback that you are getting a call for hire. And now is the time that you are going to negotiate your salary with your HR. A lot of time people actually fumble and are not in a very comfortable state when it comes to salary negotiation, and often it happens that people actually get way lesser salary than they actually could have got. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about my set of experiences, that what generally I do, or what are some of the things that generally I personally recommend to people when they are in a salary negotiation phase. This is all completely my opinion. You will get tons of more videos where people are talking about tips and tricks around salary negotiation. I'm not going to talk about some tips and tricks, but these are those things that I generally personally applied when I was also interviewing myself, and a lot of friends of mine were interviewing for themselves as well. So without any further ado, let's just start. But before starting the video, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing to the channel. We are going to put some really awesome content coming up ahead regarding your tech and career. So let's just start. So before moving forward in the video, I have an important announcement for you. So if you're somebody who is actually willing to learn advanced backend technologies, then this is going to be the right platform for you. So at AlgoCamp, we have launched our new flagship Lambda 4.0 Advanced Live Backend Development Batch, in which you are going to learn advanced backend technologies including Fastify, Express.js, AWS, Mongo, DynamoDB, and whatnot. This is going to be a power-packed course in which we are going to take you from the very scratch, very basics of backend technologies to the very advanced level by building a lot of interesting projects. We are going to build projects like Code Sandbox Clone. We are going to build streaming app which will include recorded movie streaming plus live streaming as well. We are going to make applications like Booking.com backend, which is going to help you understand transactional capabilities, integrations of payment gateways, and many more. All the important projects that we are going to cover in the course is going to be listed here, and this is going to be an absolute live course where we are going to take live classes, right? And in these live classes, we are going to do hands-on coding experience to learn all the important advanced backend technologies. You already know that backend is something that every important application needs, and you can actually excel your software engineering career with these backend tech in the Node.js stack. So what are you waiting for? All the important links, the complete syllabus, curriculum, all the details of the course is present in the description section below. You can use the coupon code coming up here to get maximum discount off on the current price. I'm really excited for the course. I hope you guys are too. And now let's get back to the video. Now this becomes extremely important that you are completely clear with your expectations from the very start of the interview. A lot of time what happens is that when the HR actually communicates to you that okay, we are going to set up all of your tech rounds, 4 or 5 rounds, at that point of time it is generally a good expectation to tell that okay, I am expecting a salary range from X to Y. The role that you are technically offering to me, is that corresponding role also going to offer me a similar salary range or not? A lot of time what happens is that there are a set of companies which offer slightly more salary for the same role that you are going to get at any other company, be it a FANG, be it a startup, or let's say any other fintech company, this is a very common practice. So you should not like obviously assume that I'm going to get this much amount of salary because any another company is already giving that much salary. Every company have got their set of bands, right? Every I would say position that you see in particular company has a band of salary. Within this band, you are going to lie somewhere in between based on how your interviews go, how much experience you are already getting, and overall how much well you are able to negotiate. There are a couple of more interesting factors that can even push you towards the higher side of the band, but again we are going to talk about all of that. But it becomes extremely important for you to actually keep an expectation already ready. See, if you're somebody who has no offers or who is in a desperate need of a job, this might not be the best thing to do. But if you are already having a couple of offers, or you are, let's say, relatively more comfortable in your current job, and if you are able to make a switch, that would be better, but it's not a die-hard cause for you, then it makes sense for you to actually keep all of the things in front of your HR as early as possible, because they can technically then tell you that, okay, if this is your salary expectation range, then you might have to interview for a higher role or for a lower role, things like that, right? This generally helps to keep the expectations clear, and then you also know that how much you have to technically perform in case you are going to get that much amount of salary. So keep always this particular thing in your mind. Now, one more very important stuff that you should always consider is that you should know what are the numbers the company is already offering for the same role for the past couple of years, right? These numbers you can get on LeetCode discuss section very easily. For example, like you can go to Google and you can just search for, let's say, Amazon SD2 salary LeetCode, and you can put a filter of after : 2023, that whatever are the blog posts on LeetCode discuss which are telling the Amazon SD2 salary after 2023 will be technically shown. This will give you a clear picture of what is the compensation range that the company is offering. Why? Because generally most of the companies have a band for the salary for a particular role. Within this band, they can give you anywhere, let's say from the lower side of the band to the upper side of the band, but whatever numbers you are going to get, you can actually play around the numbers based on the different segregation of the components. Like every tech salary has multiple components. There is a base component, there is a stock component, in case the company is listed. If the company is not listed, there will be ESOPs. There is a joining bonus component, there is a retention bonus component, there is a relocation component, performance bonus component. There are a lot of different components altogether, and it becomes very easy for you if you already know that, okay, what are the component ranges for this particular role with this particular amount of experience that the company is actually giving. Then it makes it really helps you a lot to actually do the negotiation. You can also check out platforms like levels.fyi, you can also check out platforms like Glassdoor, but I really like the LeetCode discuss section because people have actually posted their like real-time experiences and very good bifurcation of their packages. One more thing that you can technically do is you can try to reach out to people on LinkedIn who are actually working on similar roles or who have recently shifted for the similar roles, and you can very plainly ask that, okay, I have cleared these set of interviews and I have my negotiation going on. What is the range that is good for this particular role? And if I am going to ask, let's say, a number X, is it going to be on the higher side? Is it going to be a lower side? Or let's say you already have some numbers from the HR. You can actually ask people on LinkedIn, or you can ask people on LeetCode that, is this a lowballing offer? Should I ask for more? So on and so forth. Because you will see a lot of people on LeetCode not just post about their salaries, but also post that, okay, I am getting this offer. Is it a lowballing offer? It is a higher side offer or what? Platforms like Blind is also a very good platform in case you want to get some opinions and get some ideas on what are the existing salary ranges. Because keep one thing in mind. The existing salary ranges are the similar ranges that you are also going to get. If you are able to negotiate even better than that or somewhere on the higher side of that, you will be in a win-win situation. Because what companies want is they want to get you on as low cost as possible. What you want is to get as higher salary as possible. So you have to take this tug of war somewhere in between, right? So keep always these things in mind. If you know what the numbers are, you will be always in a better position, and the HRs will also know that, okay, you already know the numbers, you have that much amount of knowledge, so they cannot just like lowball you like anything. Keep all of these things in your mind. Now, one more very important thing that you always should use is existing offers or competing offers. If you have some competing offers from some other companies which are, let's say, paying in the similar range or the higher range, then it becomes a very good tool for you to actually ask for more salary, and it's absolutely okay, right? companies also interview multiple candidates. They are not just interviewing you. So if they are interviewing multiple candidates and they're going to choose one of these candidates, then it's okay for you to also interview with multiple companies, get offers from multiple companies, and then try to use the offers for negotiating the other one, because maybe there is a company which you are very inclined towards because the team is very nice, the tech stack is very nice. The only problem is around the salary range. So you can use a competing offer to actually negotiate that, okay, I'm already getting this much amount and these are the benefits that I'm getting there, and maybe the HR can even ask you for those letters. So maybe you can take a call whether you want to share the complete letter or only the compensation breakup, whatever it is. But these competing offers helps you to actually negotiate more, because if you have given your interviews well, again and again I'm telling you, if your interviews went very well, then the companies will want to put as much effort as possible to get you onboarded, because they have invested their time, they have invested their resources like their engineers to actually get the interview done. A lot of I would say resources are already exhausted by the company, so they also want to make sure that you are onboarded. So they are also going to push based on your existing offers. Apart from that, if you know that, okay, you are in the final stage of interviews for a couple of companies, because a couple of companies do they take all the tech interviews initially and a couple of non-technical interviews are lined up later. So if you are in the final stages, do tell that particular thing also, because most of the HRs know what salary ranges other companies, other famous companies are actually giving. So let's say you are interviewing for Amazon and you already have an offer, let's say from Gojek. Okay, so you can tell that, okay, I have this offer from Gojek and I am interviewing for Amazon, right? So the company that you are actually negotiating with will know that, okay, if this person clears Amazon, because Amazon has a similar hiring bar compared to our company, then Amazon will be able to offer him or her this much amount of salary. So again, this becomes something which is in favor of you. So always make sure that you interview for multiple companies and try to have at least more than one offer, so that you can I would say negotiate well. Because what you will realize is that for the same level, for the same company, two people might be having a very drastic difference in their salaries. They will be having different stock components, they will be having different, I would say, base components. But if they are using all of these techniques, things becomes very easy for them. Now, one more thing that generally I prefer and a lot of friends of mine also prefer is that you need to take a preference of what component is more important for you. Sometimes what happens is that, let's say you are trying to negotiate on the base salary, that let's say your base salary that is being offered to you is, let's say, 20 lakh per annum, and you are pushing to make it 22. But the company is not willing to do so. So what you can do is you can actually ask for, let's say, an extra stock component, right? Or let's say increase in the stock component if it is already there, right? Or you can ask for a bonus, right? You need to make sure that you are able to balance out your components altogether. It is generally very good if you are able to get the increase or the increment on the base salary only, because when you will take a shift, or let's say if the current offer you are going to use as a competing offer, then the base salary will be kind of like the baseline offer that people are going to consider, not the bonus. So what base salary you are getting and what set of stock you are getting per year, these are two baselines that most of the companies are going to consider. So the more you are able to push on this one, the better you are in, the better situation you are in. But in case you are not able to push for both of these, try to get things done in other ways, like try to get some bonus component added, try to get some joining bonus, try to maybe have some retention bonus component and so on, because at the end it's your money. Maybe you are going to get it after a year in the form of a bonus, or maybe you are going to get it as a joining bonus, things like that. So make sure that this whole negotiation is not just in favor of you. You might also have to lose on a couple of things, they might also have to lose on a couple of things. You need to come to a middle ground, right? Let's say there is a company who is giving you work from home, but let's say giving you 1 lakh less base salary. Then you have to take a call that, okay, if there is a company which is asking you to come to office 5 days, there is a lot of time, there is a lot of money that will go in the overall commute, right? That overall time you can actually use in your day-to-day work for the company that you are having with work from home and perform even better. So again, these kind of calls you have to take, but make sure that you are able to actually maximize on the overall CTC, and in case you are not able to maximize on the component that you are actually willing to. This is something that everybody should do, and you should not be absolutely rigid that, okay, this is the number that I am targeting, until unless you have a competing offer that is already giving you that particular number. So these are some of the things that I generally I would say prefer. I have tried all of this. A lot of friends of mine have tried all of this, and to be very honest, most of us have made sure that we are getting a good negotiation on the salary, and we are getting the higher side salary bands of whatever companies we are interviewing for, right? Because it becomes very important for a candidate also to get maximum comp benefit. Then only you will feel a lot invested in the corresponding company when you are actually working for them as well. So keep all of these things in mind, and best of luck for your next negotiation. I hope once you clear all of your tech interviews, you will be able to negotiate well after watching this particular video. And if you have watched this particular video till the very end, do like the video, and if you have any thoughts, do let me know in the comment section. I would be really happy to answer all of them. That being said, let's wrap this particular video here. We are going to meet soon in the next set of videos where we are going to talk about a lot of things around your tech and career. Till then, take care. Bye bye. I am Sanket Singh, signing off.